Hi everyone, and thanks for being here. My name is Lindsay Shoup, and I wish I could be welcoming you in person, but I really appreciate the opportunity to do this over video. And I'm the organization director for Medina County Farm Bureau, and I've been in the position for about 3 years, and I serve 4 different counties in this region. Medina County Farm Bureau is a nonprofit membership-based organization. In Medina County, we have about 1,000 members that are involved in agriculture. So one might think like, wow, it's Medina County, there's that many people involved in agriculture. But yes, there are. We primarily focus on advocacy for our members. So a lot of what we do is relating to public policy and trying to promote common sense policy that is advantageous to agriculture and our communities. In addition to that, we also do a lot of consumer education. Season's Harvest, so that's a fundraiser dinner that we do for Feeding Medina County. We also were active at the fair at our first Ag Day with Medina County Extension. That was an educational day at the fairgrounds to promote ag education for 3rd graders. Medina County has changed a lot. So the historical landscape of what agriculture looked like in the county didn't used to be quite so developed. Farms used to be bigger, but actually what we're seeing is it's really more farm size, but not number of farms. So about half the farms in Medina County are only 10 to 49 acres, and approximately half, or about 40% of these farms make less than $2,500 in a year. So as you can expect, obviously you can't really support a family on that. So most of these farms are actually part-time or even hobby farms. There's about 1,149 farms in Medina County, and that was in 2017. The average farm size across the county is 86 acres. So farms are getting smaller, but I think people are getting more creative in the type of farms that there are. We're seeing more niche type farming and more specialty crops. So of the land in farms, which is almost 100,000 acres, about 75% of it is used for cropland. So that's probably not a surprise as we drive around and we see like corn and beans and hay, or Christmas trees or different things like that. So then the remaining would be livestock or poultry and other animal related products. Right around 40% of farm operators are actually women. Yes, farms are getting a little smaller with niche marketing and things, but we have a lot of women involved, which has been increasing. Part of it is I think women have been involved in decision making for years. This typical scenario is, okay, husband is out there actually working the ground or out in the barn, but a lot of times women have always either been assisting with milking, but a lot of them have done record keeping and bookkeeping. I think maybe in our society now, and they worded the question of, do you have women involved in decision making on the farm? And a lot of farmers will be like, well, yeah, I always ask my wife before we make it. So I think part of it is just recognizing women's involvement. Maybe it's always been there, but actually physically running the tractor, planting the crops, working the cattle. So over time, women are just studying these fields more than men. Now like 80% of the animal science major is actually women. So the question was raised about technology in agriculture. It's actually pretty amazing how technologically advanced farming has become. So nutrient management and water quality is a big concern of ours. It's a big priority for the Farm Bureau and for farmers. And so this could be manure. I know a lot of people look at manure as like this gross like waste product, but it's actually really beneficial for soil fertility. So we really want those nutrients to stay on the ground and technology and stay where we put them. We don't want it to rain and all your literally money wash away into the water. Grid sample around a field, so you can take a soil sample here and then move to 3 acres over, get another sample. You can get all of those different analyses results put into a program, and that is loaded into the tractor, and then as they're driving around, then the application rate of different fertilizers will change to reflect what the soil needs right there. Pretty much every tractor that you can get, any planting machine, harvesting, everything's got GPS. Is really helpful, and I know like keeping straight rows and knowing that, okay, we did plant here, it's actually pretty amazing. Basically, you just have to make the turn, you help the tractor make the turn, but it'll adjust itself to plant right where it's supposed to. Like, some people are at the point of having self-driving tractors. You literally don't even need a body in there and it'll just do it. So if you want, Google this, because there are videos. My family is not at that point, and I don't know if anyone in Medina County is, but at least the program will adjust and tell you exactly where you need to be, so you're not like duplicating or doubling up or missing spaces. And farmer age, by the way, is like 57. So that's the average. So you know that means that there are 85-year-olds farming. So these folks are wanting to pass the farm on. They'd like to see it stay in ag, but they don't know who to pass it on to because their children are not interested. And that's unfortunately part of the reason I think that it's contributing to development is most farmers, unfortunately, don't have maybe the best setup for retirement, and so they need to sell land so they can retire. We do a lot of sessions on transition planning and trying to match our members with folks that can help either, there's been talk about maybe some sort of matching program to a farmer that wants to sell to an interested beginning farmer that would like to take over, and how to bring them together. That's being discussed in the Ohio legislature, actually, and there's and I'm not going to be able to tell you the House bill number, but there's been discussion about how do we make it easier for people to begin farming, because we, be it a tax credit or something, because the cost, as you guys know, like to go out and buy 10 acres of land is like mind-blowing. Like, who can afford that, let alone buying a 50-acre farm or a 100-acre farm? So there is discussion about, not only is it hard to match farmers to a beginning farmer, even just that relationship to start, but financially, how does somebody get into farming this fall? But we do a buy local directory. So a lot of these places that we're featuring are in this directory, plus a lot of our other members that you can find products just in Medina County grown locally that you can visit. It has store hours and contact information and things like that. So we'll try to get those out to you also.